You wake up in ancient Rome, 100 AD, at the height of Emperor Trajan's empire. But you're not in a marble villa. You're in an insula, a 5-story wooden apartment building crammed with hundreds of people. The air reeks of human waste. There's no running water up here, no heating, no glass windows, just thin walls, constant noise, and ever-present fire risk. Your first priority, food. You join thousands of Roman citizens flooding toward the grain distribution centers at dawn. The Annona, Rome's free grain dole, keeps the poor from rioting. Emperor Augustus knew, give them bread and circuses, they won't revolt. You wait in the massive crowd, showing your tessera, your citizen token. Without it, you starve. No token, no grain. Slaves don't get free grain, neither do foreigners, only Roman citizens. After an hour of waiting, you receive your wheat ration. You head to the thermae, the public baths. For a few coins, you enter a world of marble, steam, and scalding water. The Romans bathe almost daily, unlike most ancient civilizations. The baths are social hubs, business centers, and political gathering spots. You move through the cold room, warm room, and hot room. You scrape your skin with a strigil, since soap barely exists. No chlorine means the water teems with bacteria. Skin infections spread easily. Eye diseases are common. Theft is constant in the baths. You make your way to the Roman Forum, the beating heart of the empire. Massive marble temples tower above you. Senators in white togas debate in the Curia. Merchants sell goods from across the world, silk from China, spices, Egyptian grain. Public executions happen here in the Forum. Political enemies are denounced. You keep your head down and opinions to yourself always. Speaking against the emperor, even joking, can mean exile or death. Informants are everywhere, hoping to curry favor by reporting dissent against Rome. Evening brings the only real meal of the day, cena. If you have money, you visit a tavern for warm food. Bread dipped in wine, porridge, maybe some vegetables or fish. Meat is rare and expensive. You eat simple fare very quickly. Night falls and Rome transforms into one of Earth's most dangerous places. There is no police force, no streetlights at all. Just darkness, crime, and chaos everywhere. Gangs roam the streets freely. Robbery is common. Murder happens even more often than robbery. You hurry back to your insula, hoping to avoid trouble. Chamber pots are emptied from windows above. Human waste splashes onto streets. Fire is another constant threat to survival. Insulae are wooden tinderboxes. Residents cook with open flames on upper floors. One spark means disaster. You finally reach your apartment, bolt the flimsy door, and prepare for a restless night of noise, cold, and terrible city smells. You've survived one day in ancient Rome, but could you survive a week, a month, an entire lifetime in this city? Most Romans didn't live past age 40. Disease, malnutrition, violence, and accidents claimed lives daily. Infant mortality was staggering across the empire. Yet Rome endured for centuries because its people adapted, survived, and built systems that kept civilization functioning despite brutal conditions. Morning comes again. You survived the night. The insula didn't collapse or burn. Now you face another day of struggles ahead. This is life in ancient Rome, not the marble statues and triumphant arches you see in museums today. Not the noble speeches and heroic battles from Hollywood movies. This is survival in the world's greatest city of its time. A place of staggering achievements and crushing hardships where 1 million people lived, worked, fought, and died under empire's shadow. Roman law was harsh but organized. Theft could mean execution. Assault brought severe punishment. But patricians rarely faced consequences for crimes. The Colosseum hosted brutal gladiatorial games. 50,000 spectators watched men fight to death. Condemned criminals were torn apart by wild beasts. Most gladiators were slaves or prisoners. Some volunteers sought fame and fortune. Few survived more than 10 fights in the arena. Roman soldiers lived hard lives too.
They marched 20 miles daily, carrying 80 pounds of equipment. Discipline was absolutely brutal and unforgiving. A legionnaire's pay was low. They served 25-year terms. Desertion meant death, but veterans received land grants upon honorable discharge. Women in Rome had few rights. They couldn't vote or hold office. Fathers arranged marriages, but some wealthy women influenced nonetheless. Slavery was everywhere in Roman society. 1 in 3 people was enslaved. They had no rights, no freedom, no hope usually. Slave conditions varied greatly. Educated Greeks tutored children. Mine slaves died quickly underground. Household slaves might eventually earn freedom through manumission. Roman children faced high mortality rates. Only half lived to age 10. Those who survived attended school or learned family trades. The wealthy ate elaborate feasts, exotic meats, imported delicacies, fine wines from across the empire. They dined reclining on couches. The poor ate gruel, bread, and vegetables daily. Meat was a rare luxury. They cooked on small braziers in cramped apartments. Disease was rampant throughout the city. Malaria, typhoid, tuberculosis, and dysentery killed thousands yearly. There was no real medical understanding then. Doctors used primitive treatments, bloodletting, herbal remedies, prayer to gods. Surgery existed, but without anesthesia. Most patients died from infections. The Forum Romanum was Rome's political heart. Elections were held here. Laws were passed. Justice was dispensed in public trials. But corruption was endemic in Roman politics. Bribery was common. Violence at elections happened frequently. Democracy was often just theater for the masses. The Circus Maximus held chariot races. 150,000 spectators cheered their favorite teams: blues, greens, reds, and whites. Crashes were frequent and deadly. Charioteers were mostly slaves, but successful ones became wealthy celebrities. Fans rioted over race results sometimes. Roman engineering was remarkable for its time. They built roads, bridges, aqueducts, and buildings that still stand 2,000 years later. The Pantheon's dome was an architectural marvel. Concrete construction revolutionized building. Roman innovations influenced all Western architecture thereafter forever. Could you survive 24 hours in ancient Rome? Now you understand what it truly took: courage, luck, and constant vigilance every single moment.